Hey guys, I was hoping to be in something a little bit different today, so I don't have like 5 videos in this sweatshirt. But we're moving, and so a lot of my clothes are just like being packed because I've been packing and doing a bunch of boxes. So I've just kind of had a bunch of loungewear on the last couple days. Also, because of my awesome portal hypertension, I can really fluctuate throughout the day. So sometimes tighter clothes just feel super uncomfortable on me yet. So I usually wear more like leggings and things like that at the moment. But it's finally just gotten a little bit colder here in Wyoming. So I've just been throwing this sweatshirt over the top of everything. So I'm like, I look the same all the dang time, but half of my stuff is packed up. So I can't like even just go change like outfits, and I'm too cold to even sit here without my sweatshirt on, and I packed up my other sweatshirts. But that's not what we're going into today. But I just got to say I'm blown away by you guys. I'm just blown away in 2 videos the amounts of responses and the love I've gotten back from you guys is so much more in 2 days than around maybe like a month worth of like 10 videos of comments. Like it's just insane. And it's just really, really cool and humbling to see that. And because of that, I have to do this video first with you guys because I've been working on something and I was going to share it more to Facebook and stuff that with my health issues and stuff, I've definitely been through a lot, but what I've recognized through all this is more pain and hurt and suffering in other people, and to have more patience and more kindness, and also to clear out the clutter of my life. If I'm not doing anyone good in an area, or I'm not happy, I would say, but like the idea of happiness, of going for like what you want and you need, and by doing the right thing, that I'm just trying to clear stuff out. And, I thought, the YouTube channel is maybe something that just needed to be cleaned out that I didn't really know. As many videos, I can see that people view it, but I don't really know the value of what I'm instilling in others, or if people really even care what I have to say. And it's kind of like, oh, thanks for sharing, but you don't really know if you're bringing value into someone's life. And I thought, well, maybe it's just this isn't my direction. And, maybe it's time to face this, that maybe this was my own comfort. And you guys are showing me that that's weird. Somebody's outside, that it's more than that. And this is kind of what I want to say is my first surgery when I was 16. It was hopeful. It was nice. My surgeons told me, they're like, girl, you are a miracle. And the fact that you're alive and not dead, and the fact that we caught this, they're like, you would have died. One little car accident, maybe one more year of this not catching of us catching this. They're like, you would have bled to death and you would have died before anyone would have ever caught this. And I've seen other people now die that were my age, either from like they were drinking and driving and, died unfortunately. I've seen a couple people with other health issues where they died in their sleep because they didn't know that they had a heart thing, or I'm sure they felt weird things, but it was the drinking and stuff that caused it sometimes, or it just would have happened. And then I felt really thankful to even be alive. And I really was just thankful for every day and thankful for every chance I got. And then along the way, I thought, okay, this was your story. This was the big thing, and you're going to go through it. And now you're going to live a better life for a better life for it. And then what happened in the past few years, and even getting married, and my husband at the time had never seen me sick, and I had told him that I had issues, and that I may never live a very long time, or that I had issues. He had decided that he thought he was okay with that at the time. And this is not about him, but in the past 5 years, I've been through more physical pain and emotional pain than I knew that I could ever go through. And part of what's been fun is really actually having this channel. So thank you for that. But something I had been praying about, and this isn't about God, you don't have to believe him or not. This is just a story. And part of when I got sick, I had prayed and actually became a Christian. And I remember just seeing the line, of Amazing Grace. I once was lost, but now I'm found. I'm blind, but now I see. And I realized I could see God through all of that and all the good things in my life and how lucky I was and how blessed I was and how much I loved my family and how much I was excited that I could play volleyball. And it gave me a focus and it showed me all these good things in my life. And I thought that if I had enough love and I worked hard and I valued things, that I could make a life. Well, now with this past surgery, I thought I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to power through this. I'm going to do this all on my own and it's going to be okay. And I'm just going to come out better for it on the other end. Well, guess what? This time I'm technically disabled. I wouldn't say that I'm in a wheelchair or anything like that, but I'm definitely like assisted living. Like that's what it is. And I was used to being able to push myself through workouts and just giving myself physical goals. And this time my body is like, nope, don't think so. If you're going to push me that hard, I'm going to hurt you even more tomorrow. And sometimes I've always been the fighter. I've always been willing to fight and fight through everything. But you know where I've always been really bad? Is learning to let go and to walk away. That there are some things in my life that are not worth fighting for. And by fighting for the wrong things, I'm actually taking away from all the good things in my life. And this time after the surgery, I kind of found myself just very angry. I'm like, have I not been through enough? Have I not suffered enough? And I said, God, like, show me, again, like, show me, let me see what this is all about. Let me see the light in all of this because I cannot find it. And you know what he did? Which shows me that God has humor as well as he's always listening and challenging you, is that he told me I was blinded by the light. And I'm like, what the heck does that mean? I'm like, what? That doesn't even make sense. And then he's like, it does. I'm like, no, it doesn't. And then you kind of get to the point like, oh yeah, prove it. Well, he proved it. He shut off the dang lights. And you know what? I couldn't see anything then. It was completely dark. And I was like, oh great. So now I have no God. I have nothing. I am just nothing. This is even worse. Like I can't see at all. And then you know what happened? When all that light pollution of all the good things around me and everything that was going on that I was actually taking for granted again, then once those lights were off, my eyes could adjust. And you know what I saw? Just this tiny little flicker. And when I looked at it, I realized it was my own light, but I couldn't see it through all that bright light of all those things and all the things I thought I could have and should have and the things I want and everything that life had to offer. But when he took all that away, I could finally refocus on me. And when I started to do that, I started to see things a little bit differently. That I was just letting go of it all and letting it be rebuilt to something bigger and better and letting my light shine even more than I ever knew it could. And what really changed me is we all have those profound, like stupid, like everyday moments is I was out walking my dogs of all things. And I was on this path and I was actually just in pure misery and just saying, God, like I could be in Washington right now. That's my home and my life, and my job was there, and I lost my job. And, I'd worked 7 years for this. I'd put all my blood, sweat, and tears everything I had into this business and all these people. And, I made volleyball my life and all this stuff. And I'm here doing nothing. And I looked over at my dogs and I was like, man, you guys have it lucky. Like, you're so lucky I have all this time that you guys get to go out to this dang dog park every day and just have the time of your lives that you have no idea that other people are usually in work all day and you're locked in a kennel for 8 hours. And then God kind of turned it on me. He's like, wait a minute. Are they lucky or are you lucky? And then I was kind of like, well, I mean, obviously them. And then when I realized that they weren't blinded by all the other things in life, by money or anything else, that they were just having the best time walking and playing along this path and jumping into the water. And so it was just amazing for me to realize that if I could let go of who I was, who I could have been, who I should be, who I want to be, and I just really focused on who I was in this moment right now as me and accepting that for what it was, that I had everything and more than I wanted and could ever need. And that if I kept focusing on all these things that are right here and being happy and learning to find new joy in things again and letting go of things that didn't even matter, that I was just busying myself with thinking I should want or need in this world, that I was free of all these distractions, that I could really start to focus on who I was and really who I want to become, and just letting myself be happy and just enjoying life as it comes rather than trying to make it happen all the time in the way that I think it should be. And I realized I was just robbing myself of happiness and simple pleasures of just life, of being alive, and to realize that good and bad things don't happen to good or bad people. This is not a superhero movie. There is not the evil guy out there, and there is not a hero. There is only people, and people have good and bad things happen to them, and we do good and bad things. And really, that you can find that happiness in pain, and things that you thought were good can cause you the most pain. That letting go of some things, letting go what's good, and facing those fears and going through them and saying, like, I am afraid of this. I am scared that if I let go of this, I'm going to find nothing. But if you decide to say, okay, in spite of how I feel, if I just take this next step, if I walk through it, I could find a chance at finding something so much better. And we get used to living under these labels, but guess what, guys? There is no label big enough to name you. That you get to decide who you are. Other people can tell you, my disease can ruin my body, but it cannot take away how I decide to view life. And you know what? I just don't want to risk, even if it's just a couple years left on this earth that I have. I don't want to live it in misery. I don't want to live it upset or in pain. I really want to live it in a way that shows other people that they can have more and should want more for themselves. To take that next step, to be bigger and better than they thought they could ever be. Whether that's changing a diet, getting rid of some people in your life that shouldn't be there, getting rid of a job, not letting people treat you in a wrong way, and finding the people who want to treat you right. Those are sometimes the best things that we could have in life. And when it comes down to it, friends and family are really the only thing that we can take out of this world. And the only thing that we're left with is memories. And you can have all the money in the world, but that just doesn't change the world, unfortunately. And, there's people who do good things with money and there's people who do bad things with money. It's the motivation behind it that really matters. It's your core and it's who you are. And I want to challenge you to maybe step away a little bit from life and this busyness and do some deep cleaning of your own life and your own path and just see what really sticks around. Because you know what? I'm kind of coming into some new realities, and I was thinking it was going to be really, really bad, but I'm kind of happy.